Friendships used to feel simple. You meet someone, you share a snack, maybe a secret or two. But now friendships feel like a full-blown ecosystem with unwritten rules, shifting alliances, and social math that somehow always leave you overthinking. And sometimes you even get friend skipped. You introduce two friends, literally two people who would have never met without you, and suddenly they're building their own relationship. Texting, hanging out, making plans, and kind of forgetting the role you played in the first place. And it's not that people becoming friends without you is a bad thing. That part is normal. It's actually great. It's just there's an unspoken code because there are certain things you don't do. You don't skip over the person who introduced you. You don't use someone as the connection point and then quietly cut them out like they were just a stepping stone. It's not even jealousy, it's just awareness. It's knowing your place in the dynamic and moving with a little respect on how that friendship actually started. Which then brings up the bigger question. What are we actually supposed to be doing in friendships? How often should you text? Are you checking in, catching up, or are you just existing in the same group chat? And boundaries don't even get me started, because at this point, I can't tell if I'm actually being a good friend or just overthinking everything. And maybe the most important question is, how do you show up for your friends without actually losing yourself? So today we're going to get into all of it, the good, the messy, the constantly evolving, and the one friendship that actually matters the most, the one you have with yourself. Welcome to my guide on navigating friendships and friend groups without spiraling. Hey everybody, welcome back to Still Can't Cook. Please rate us 5 stars, follow us on YouTube. It means the world to us. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Friendships are complicated. And somehow I can't just hang out and enjoy people without overcomplicating and overanalyzing everything. Wondering if I'm getting what I need, trying not to overgive, and worrying about being friend skipped. You know when you introduce two friends and then suddenly you're being removed from the equation. Friend groups are a lot right now. People move, priorities shift, interests change, and somehow everybody acts like they're handling it perfectly. Today we're breaking it all down. A guide to friendships in a world with no rule books. But somehow everyone has loud, unspoken expectations. We're covering how friend groups change over time, friend skippers, yes, I'm coining a new phrase, how to spot a good friend, how to be a great friend, love languages with friends, what you need, what you give, and how to communicate if it's not matching up. If you've ever looked at your group chat and wondered who's showing up for me, or if you've ever been friend skipped, this is the episode for you. Okay, first let's talk about the inevitable. Friend group shifts. Life happens. People move, jobs change, partners and kids enter the scene, and suddenly the dynamics are different. It's very hard to adjust to friendships when their lives change and your life stays the same. I am the only one in the group of all of my friends who, I have different friend groups. Let me just be clear. We all know about these group chats, right? I have my dog group friends. I have my friends. I think we all have multiple friend groups at this point I can't keep up with any of them, but anyway, I have multiple friend groups. In my childhood friends and my oldest friends, I am the only one without children or a partner. I know it's sad because I'm so wonderful, but it's truth. I have no partner. If you're out there and you want a partner, I'm here for you. But anyway, back to the group. So it's difficult to adjust your needs when your friends start having children and partners and you have to kind of adjust to their timeline and that they're not available for you anymore as often as they used to be. It's hard to be the only friend that's single. It's hard to be the one that has all the free time and you reach out and you have to, who's got to go because the baby's crying or someone has to go because Bob came home from work and you're having like a crisis over something. You can't get in your jeans anymore because you're menopausal and you gain too much weight. You got to call your best friend and tell her about it, but she's got to go because she's got to feed the baby. It's difficult to manage the expectations of your friends who have partners. Do you add the partners in? Do they want to have a group chat with their partner now? Like, how does that even work? Are you rude to leave them out of the group text if you have other guys in your group text that have been in it from the beginning? I'm the one who starts a lot of these group text messages, so blame me for this. Then I don't even know the etiquette. So here I am creating a group, calling it like Friday, I don't know, made up some shit. I make up weird names for the groups. But like, if we're supposed to go out on a Friday, I pull the people in for that Friday group and that becomes another group, even though it's not Friday anymore. So it's not really making any sense. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. We all do these weird things. Vacation text and then the vacation text. What is vacation text? And you're just talking about tomorrow and you're not on vacation anymore. Do you change it? Do you change the name of your group chats? I don't know. Anyway, I'm running off here. But it is difficult to figure out the etiquette of a group text when your friends' lives are changing. When you're pulled into a group text from your friends with their children, that's an odd thing, and that has happened. My friends' kids are going to be in New York, so they start a group text with me in it with their kids. Well, so now I have to say happy birthday, Merry Christmas. I got to do all the things to your kids now because I'm in a group text with them. I don't know. Do I ignore them after the trip? Like, how do you get out of that? I don't know the right etiquette. And do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, this happened. You kind of get yourself pulled into these moments because their lives have changed. I'm not putting Oliver on a group text. So no matter what goes on in my life, nothing's changed. It's just Kelley being Kelley. And then it's like Mary and Tim. Do we put them together on a text message? I don't know. Like the kids, have you been pulled into a group chat with your friends' children? That is an odd one. Like, oh, so-and-so, wants to know what restaurant to go to. They're going to the city this weekend and it's fun. And then I feel like the cool friend. I'm like, oh, of course, let me figure that out. But then you're like, uh-oh, it's his birthday. Uh-oh, I heard he had a breakup or she's got her driver's license. Now I have to text the child because I'm in a group text with her. It's a lot. It's a lot of stress when your friend's life changes and yours don't. Like, none of my partners have ever been part of a group text with my friends. So when we were planning things, even if it was the two of us doing something, I was the person who organized the things and I just told them about it afterwards. But then you have these friends whose husbands or partners are the ones that follow through. So you have to add them in, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's weird because then you have to side text if you want to chat about something that you can't have the partner hear about. The changing relationship dynamics when your friends' lives change and yours doesn't. It is difficult to figure out the rules. And I do start most of the group text. So it's probably my fault anyway, who you're supposed to put in and who you're not supposed to put in. And do you put the partner in or do you not? How you navigate a friendship when there's a husband or a child now is also a new thing that I had to deal with as my friends evolved and their lives changed. And like, when can you call? When can't you call? When's a text appropriate? And you know how when your friends are really busy, my friends are busy, they don't answer a text right away, then I will call if I need them. Like, I don't really respect the fact that they didn't text me back, which probably means they're busy, but I'm going to interrupt your life anyway because what I'm calling you for is really important. Put the kid down. So yeah, navigating friendships as their lives change and yours don't. Yours doesn't. Another group text that's also strange that you have to navigate when life changes is the work text. I have a group work text from my old job where I have a group of people who have their own internal battles now that I'm unaware of because I don't work there. So I was texting a group of friends that used to be friends when I was with the company. And I got a side text from one of them saying, don't put me in that group anymore because I don't talk to A, B, and C. I was like, wait, what? The work drama that you missed because you're not there anymore. So then you have to do a side text off the work text. Yeah. Stop doing group text, Kelley. I gotta stick to like one-offs. I'm better because I always say the wrong thing in group text too. I forget. Like I have multiple family texts and only one person's not on the text. And then I have multiple friend texts, which are just spin-offs of the other text messages. And then again, I have texts with my friends and their kids and my friends and their husbands. And you know what my friends get? Just me, charming old me. By myself all the time, always available, Kelley. Just call. I'll be there. Don't worry about it. Even if I'm bathing Oliver, I answer the phone. I do. You guys should think about that. Don't feel bad for me. I'm fine. I'll work through it. And here's the thing. It's not always a loss. Some friendships naturally evolve. Some fade. Some grow stronger. And yes, sometimes you even get friend skipped. You introduce two friends thinking it's going to be fun. And then suddenly they're building their own dynamic. Which again isn't the issue. The issue is when there's no awareness around it. Because let's be honest, there's a little bit of a code here. If someone brings you into a friendship, you don't just bypass them completely. You don't treat them like a connector and then forget them when you get your connection you were after the whole time. It's just basic friendship etiquette. We are missing some level of respect here. When someone introduces you to someone, that doesn't mean they're bringing you into a friendship. It doesn't mean they automatically want you and the person that is their friend to become friends or for you to gain from a friendship in any it's just inappropriate for people to assume that because I introduced you, that means that I want you guys to go run off into the sunset and be best friends. That is not the case in my life. I'm very intentional about having my friends in specific places. I have friends for specific things. I don't like to mush it all together. It's messy for me because then I'm always responsible for the friend who comes into the group. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So I keep my friendships very compartmentalized. I don't mush them all together. I don't throw parties and I don't do that. If I have one party for this group of friends, that group of friends is not invited. I don't friend mix. I don't like it. Because what happens, and has happened in the past, is that you do have these friend skippers. So if you're in a party and you meet somebody and I introduce you to Mary and you and Mary decide that you both like yoga and you go to yoga together, cool. That's not the problem. That's friendships building, and I understand that. So if I bring you to a restaurant and I introduce you to the owner of a restaurant and you go on social media and you find that person and you say, hey, thank you for dinner that night. It was nice meeting you. That's fine. That's respectful. Cool. But then on Friday, if you inbox them and say, is it okay if I get a table? Friend skipping. In my life, there's been a lot of friend skipping, because really what friend skipping means to me, you get something out of the person that I'm introducing you to that you would have never gotten had I not made the introduction. So it's my relationship that's giving you the thing. Like if you want tickets to a show and I'm the one who introduced you to the person who's headlining the show or producing the show or DJing at the show, I'm going to bring it down. You don't go directly to them, you go to me. It is rude. It's ethically incorrect in a friendship. It doesn't make sense and you don't know your place. And it happens a lot. Being friend skipped for me, I used to call it something else and I don't remember. Like I'd say, oh, you forgot to give me credit. You know, like I know you through Kelley. It's stupid. Friend skipping is a way better way to call it because it's truthful. It's like if two people can meet at a dinner party, two people can meet at if I invite a group together for a function or we're out together and you meet, that's one thing. Or like my dog friend, I have a bunch of dog mom friends and they're scaling off and their friendships are growing. I did introduce them all. It's the Kelley glue, but clearly they can have their own friendships. That's normal. That's life. That's how it happens. It evolves that way. But if I introduce you to someone who you can gain from and you go around me for that, friend skipping. Can't have it. And it happens a lot. It's super annoying. And then how do you address it? Because a lot of times with the friend skipping too, it's a one person. It's not a two friend sided thing. The other person isn't trying to be friends with the friend skipper. The friend skipper is skipping its way into a friendship that he's not even welcome into. And then they call me, then the other person's like, your friend so-and-so called? I'm like, no, they did not. Oh, so-and-so inboxed me and said we should be friends on Facebook because we're friends with you. Facebook. I don't know if you guys still use it. I do. But yeah, no, inappropriate. Don't friend skip me. Because then I'm going to call you out on it, and then we're going to have an argument, and then I look weird and insecure, and then it's a problem. And then you make everybody uncomfortable. So don't friend skip. Keep the person who made the introduction, include them in the conversation, especially if you're asking for things, because I think that's the big point. You can't friend skip if you're both just going to go to lunch, right? You're going to go do something you both like doing. That's one thing. But friend skipping is when you're gaining something from my friends. Don't do that. Friend skippers. You know who you are. We all have them in our lives. It's like silly. It's like, don't you know that that's not cool? It's like girl code. There's certain things you just don't do. You can't date my ex-boyfriend. You can't call the GM directly if I introduced you. Don't friend skip people. It's a really shitty thing to do. It's not a good look. And we all talk about you. Because then I'll go to the friend that you skipped over to do. And I'm like, I saw her skipping, hopscotching her way over there. No, she ain't coming. And then you get out of the whole group. Then you get kicked out of everything. Then you're just sitting at home with no friends. You skipped your way out of people's lives. Your friends skipping freaks. What are you doing? Just call me and I'll get you the tickets. Don't friend skip around me because I'll catch you. Yeah, friend skipping skippy. While evaluating friendships, it's okay to ask yourself if you're comfortable with change. And if the answer is no, that's okay. It doesn't make you bitter. It makes you human. But if the answer is yes, you have to pay attention. Notice who shows up, who communicates, and who actually supports you when life gets messy. Friendships change, life changes. You go through life, you have different friends for different things, and it shifts, I think, as you're going through your growth and different moments in life. I don't think your best friend when you were 15 can talk to you about something that happened this Thursday. And the girlfriends that you're with now on a day-to-day, when you're spending day to day with people, even though if they're not your oldest and dearest friends, I think that you find a different way of connecting with new people in the newness of your friendships and the newness of your issues or whatever's going on in your life. I think you turn to certain people for certain things, and those friendships are always valuable. Your oldest and dearest friends, the ones who don't need you to make a reference when you say someone's name, they know who it is. You can talk about, things that you don't have to go back and go, oh, you remember that so-and-so. Which is part of new friendships. And it's actually great re-explaining who people are and telling stories that, they haven't heard for 50 times, which your old friends have probably heard a million times. Friendships shift, dynamics change, but it's super important that you have a core group of people who you can trust and who can trust you. And that you can, ride the changes of life, ride the waves with these friends. And, I'll go, something will happen and I'll reach for a certain person to tell. And it's funny because it's like, wow, I didn't call so and so for that. But it was like, I don't need to go through everything that happened yesterday to tell them the story. So it's nice to have an evolving friendship with evolving friends who you can turn to when you need them, and then always have that core group that you have each other's backs. I think it's super important, especially as we grow as women. There's so much competition. There's so much, gossiping, and people don't always want what's best for you. So if you do have a group of friends that support each other and that you can support, I think it's a really big blessing and should not be taken for granted. And you don't have to have one, you don't have to always turn to the same person. I think it's important that your friends are there for certain things, and same for me. Like, there are friends who call me for certain things. No one's calling me to ask me what they should do with their kid who has a fever, right? Don't call me for that. But, but they do call me when there's an issue with the relationship, or one of the kids are having an issue, or always when they want to know what to wear to something. So I think that it's great when you have a whole potpourri of friends that you can choose from, and just know that just because your oldest friend is still your friend and your best friend is still there, you don't have to turn to them for every single thing. You need to spread the love when it comes to friendships. And believe me, when you have the same problem repeatedly, you might want to mix up who you tell it to. Talking to myself about that one. So remember, just because someone's your oldest friend does not mean that they get a pass for poor behavior. The fastest way to get frustrated is by hanging on to the way things used to be instead of seeing the way things really are now. And speaking of seeing clearly, how do you spot a truly good friend? Good friends are not always the ones that say yes to everything. They're the ones who make you feel seen. They communicate honestly, respect your boundaries, and celebrate your wins without jealousy. It's really a major thing to have people who support you without that bitter feeling. I think it's hard to spot, and it's definitely difficult to process when you think you have a friendship with somebody and you share good news, or good news is shared with them about you, and without even saying anything, you can spot the jealousy or the lack of, that they're not happy for you. It's a really painful moment when you see that and you realize that this person that you thought was your friend and was, you were their cheerleader, you were there for them, you supported them, and you believed the same to be equal for you, and you realize it's not. And it doesn't have to be a big explosion. It doesn't have to be that someone's talking behind your back, but just you can see it in the way someone reacts to your good news. It's really sad when that happens. And I think it's important. I think it's important that you recognize it and you move through a friendship that no longer serves you, but in a respectful way. I don't think you have to have a big explosion and end a friendship and a big fight, but I see you. It's a sad day when that happens, that you realize, wow, this isn't what I thought it was. You don't have my back. You're waiting for me to fail. It's a sad thing, and it's hard to acknowledge. And I think we all have it happen. It's never who we think it's going to be, right? The friend that you don't think is going to have your back, and they're your biggest cheerleader when you're not around. The person you don't know so well, but you find out when you're not in the room, they're the one bragging about you and telling everybody. That's wow, that's a moment you're holy cow, I didn't know. I've had that happen, and that's beautiful. And you're I didn't know you felt like that you were really my cheerleader in a room I'm not in. And then you have the other person who's hey, did you hear about so-and-so? And you're their gossip. When your problems become your friend's gossip, they're not your friend. They're not your friend. And it's time to walk away. And how you choose to do it is up to you. Man, back in the day, it would be you said, he said, but I'd be all about the... No, I'm not even going to waste my time. You can't teach someone to be a kind person. You can't make someone be a better friend. You shouldn't have to. It's a waste of your time. If you're loyal and someone's not, quietly slip away, exit stage left. No reason to make a big deal about it. No reason, because a lot of times when you do call a shitty friend out for being shitty, they flip the switch. They'll tell you all the reasons they were shitty and how much you hurt them along the way. Been there. No, ma'am. It's a hard lesson. I think we've all learned it as we get older. You will be surprised at the people who stand by you in a room full of people who aren't. And that's a true friend. When you know that someone has your back, no matter who's around to hear it, that's important. And when you see a subtlety, that subtle side, look, that's all you need. Or the sarcastic little twist of the knife about something that you've done successful, or that they're making fun of something that you're really proud of. That's all it takes, man. You gotta, and you'll live and learn. Hopefully you don't get burned, but when you know, that's the time. You just gotta go, okay, I see you now. This is where you're gonna sit. This is where you're gonna sit. And you're gonna be in the quiet group chat. Why is nobody texting? Because you are not my friend. Let's be real. Sometimes the signs are subtle. Good friends text to check in, not just when they need something. They show up in ways that matter, even if it's small. And the opposite are people who drain you, ghost you, or make you feel insecure. Those are the friendships to rethink. And part of growing up is recognizing when friendships aren't serving you anymore. Not in a dramatic, explosive way, but in a quiet, gut feeling kind of way. Not every friendship is meant to last forever, and that doesn't make it a failure. I've had a friendship for over 20 years that I thought was an extremely valuable friendship. It meant a lot to me. I was there for him consistently through our friendship. He traveled with us. He was someone that I turned to constantly. He recently got into a new relationship, and unfortunately, his partner doesn't like me, doesn't know me, but made a judgment on a one situation, which was completely insane. But because of this relationship now, our friendship has basically dwindled to me reaching out consistently, asking, want to have lunch, you want to have dinner, you want to say hello, you want to remember that I'm here, and I'm getting crickets. And that's just unacceptable at this point in my life. He had come back at one point and said, I realize that this relationship has come between our friendship. He said it, and I'm not going to let that happen. And I said, okay, like I recognize that this is not okay, and I don't want it. What can I do to make it better? And I was willing to reach out and say, hey, let's try something again, because sometimes you just get off on a bad foot and you could fix it. Sometimes it's just you're not at your best behavior, or you say something you don't, whatever happens. First impressions don't always have to be correct. So I was willing to give it another try so I could save and salvage the friendship. And I think it's really unfortunate, but at this point, I'm done. There's only so many how are yous, what are you doing, can I see yous that I'm going to give. Unfortunately, now he lives nearby, and I really think that myself and his partner would probably get along. First of all, we both love him, so that's a nice place to bond. But yeah, it's one of those things where you letting go of a friendship because their life is going in a direction that yours isn't going. It's sad, but it happens. It's like it doesn't mean that the friendship that we had, the years that we spent, the time that we had wasn't amazing and that it wasn't a great friendship. It wasn't a failure. It's outlived the expiration date, I guess. And now where his life is going, I'm not going. I'm not welcome to follow, I guess. Sometimes you have to let go of friendships, and that doesn't mean that it was a complete failure. And sometimes you let go of a friendship and time passes and you can reconnect. If there's some kind of hard feelings or an argument happens, sometimes taking space from friends is important. Let someone miss you. I have a habit of over texting, reaching out. I don't have a problem, especially with friends, being the friend that calls 10 times, are you okay? Or did I do something? And I always think I did something wrong. But I'll reach out as many times as it takes if I love you and you're my friend to get us to where we need to go. But sometimes you need to maybe take a step back, take a breath from the friendship, maybe let it have some space. Let someone miss you. Let it be that you don't answer the phone or immediately text back when they do come back around. I think it's important that people value each other in friendships. And when you feel undervalued in a friendship, I think it's time that you walk away. And I think that's the space that I'm in. So if you have that kind of situation, I think, again, quietly, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Well, he's going to watch it on the Oh, you know what? He doesn't watch the podcast. Quietly walking away from a friendship that doesn't feel like you are valued in is a super important thing to do for yourself, because it feels shitty when you're, hey, want to hang out? You want to, no answer, no. It's like, what am I doing? Am I I feel like the girl who can't get a dance, I'm standing like, you want to hang out with me? Anybody want to, come on. I text you 20 times, you don't respond to me. How many times am I going to ask you to lunch? Sometimes friendships have to end, and they don't have to be dramatic, and it doesn't have to be a failure. It's life taking the course, and they're going one way and you're going the other, and that's okay. let it go. If you have a friendship that you realize you're giving a lot more than you're getting, or that you're consistently reaching out, or you're the one who's making the plans, or you're the one who's paying for the plans, or you're the one who's constantly working your life around to fit their schedule just so you can spend time with them, I think you need to reevaluate the friendship. And I think when I say you need to, I need to. It's hard to recognize when you are giving more than you're getting, or that you're overdoing it, because I always think, of course why would they not want to hang out with me? It's like, what do you, I'll wait. They'll text back. It's like, no. When people have the time, they make the time, they do it quick. When you say, how are you? It doesn't take 3 days. It will never, if you text me and I don't answer in 3 days, come find me. Find my body, because I'm gone. There's no way. I'm an immediate responder, probably to the point of it being a little wackadilly, like, Kelley, are you never not on your phone? But overnight, 24/7. If you text me, I respond. So I give a lot of leeway when people don't respond to me. But if I don't respond in 3 days, you better just call the ambulance, because something's up. Yeah, I think that we need to be better with what we allow from friendships, and you can't always expect it to be reciprocal, right? You can't be like, Will, I do this, you don't do that for me. That's crazy. We do that in relationships, friendships. No, you do because you do. You can't expect it in return, but you have to have a basic guideline of what you need from a friend. And if someone's not meeting you where you're at, give them the grace to walk away, and call it an old friend. You don't have to end it. It doesn't have to be a complete closure. It's like, maybe someday we can pick back up, and I'm not going to have some big explosion about this. But friendships should be equal, and they should never be transactional, where you're giving and nothing's coming back, or they're coming to you for things that they need, and never just to say, hi, how are you? And if you take a minute and you watch, oh, that's what's happening here. I didn't even notice it. It's funny when you don't notice it's happening. I had a time where I was asking a friend consistently. This is not even the friend I'm talking about. I think I do this a lot. Poor me. I need a hug. I had a friend group, and I would consistently ask the same person to go to dinner to hang out with me, and she consistently said no. And then one of the other people in the group said, you want to do something? And that bitch was like, yes, I'll be there. I was like, whoa. What happened to your busy schedule? No, it wasn't that she didn't want to hang out. She didn't want to hang out with me. And I was so stupid, I kept asking. Isn't that sad? A good friend also knows that friendship isn't transactional. They don't expect constant reciprocation or a perfect memory of every detail. They just know how to be present when it counts and make you feel safe enough that you can be yourself, even the messy, chaotic parts. And the healthiest friendships grow with you. They adapt when life changes, when priorities shift, and when boundaries get tested. And they survive. Because the other side to that coin is being a good friend yourself. So here's the rule. You can't pour from an empty cup. So whatever it is that fills you up, that gives you the ability to be a good friend, give it to yourself. If that means resting, if that means staying away from drama, from people that aren't really dear friends. You don't got to take the phone calls from everybody to be the sounding board for someone who isn't really someone that's there for you all the time. Save your energy for the friends that really do show up for you. You don't have to spread yourself thin. And if you feel depleted, take a minute. Friendships, especially if friends are going through something, they can take a lot out of you if you care and you're invested in what goes on with your friends, as you should be. So take a minute, breathe, don't spread yourself thin with people who don't matter, or that friendships that aren't really important. Give yourself a breather, take the time you need, be there for the friends who are there for you, and you don't have to be everybody's best friend. It's super important that you recognize that you give yourself what you need so you can show up for the people who really do matter to you. Friendship is about reciprocity, being there, listening, supporting, while also maintaining your own boundaries. Saying no when you need to, asking for what you need when you're not getting it. Sometimes being vulnerable with your friends is the hardest thing, but it's also the most rewarding thing. And sometimes it's okay to step back from a friendship if it's consistently one-sided. It doesn't make you a bad friend. It makes you self-aware. And part of that self-awareness is understanding love languages. Yes, even with your friends. Friend love languages, yeah, they exist. Some friends show love through acts of service, some from words of affirmations, and some for just showing up. So I'm a very needy friend. I need all the love languages. I need to know that you love me, that you're there for me, that you support me, that you think I'm pretty, that you think I'm kind, and that you like me. I'm needy. I am. And that's why my friends are probably all at home napping right now, getting ready for me to be done shooting and call them with my latest problem. I'm a very needy friend, and I want to be hugged and kissed, and I want to be tickled, and I want my hair played with. I want to go shopping together. I want to eat together. I want you to be mad at the people that I don't like. Oh, by the way, what about that? We didn't even talk about that. You have to hate the same people as me. And like really hate them. And then you have to pretend not to hate the same people that we hate when we're together, because I don't want you to know. I can't let people know I hate them. So like, even though we all hate them now, we have to pretend to be nice to them. You have to have that to be my friend. You have to dress well, because if you don't dress well, I'm going to talk about you, and you know that. I'm an onion. I'm a complicated person. I am very needy. I need all the things, but I give all the things. That's the thing. I don't expect it if I don't give it, though you're not supposed to do that. Therapy says do to do. You don't do to expect in return, but I do to do because I expect it in return. It's not funny. I think I get it. I have a lot of friends who are beautiful and amazing and wonderful, and they do all the things, and they know my love language, and they meet me where I'm at, and I do the same. But I feel like I probably am the neediest of all my friends. I definitely have the most stories of everybody. I'm the one who comes with, like, I do the voice text messages, by the way. My friends can't stand that, but I have so much to say that I can't even text it, so I have to do either FaceTime, which is my go-to. That's another thing. That's a love language for me. I have my FaceTime friends. Those people are very important. If I call you, you know, you're just sort of my friend. No, I need it all. I need FaceTime friends. I need hugs and kisses. I need words of affirmation. I need all the things. So yeah, my love language is all of it. I'm a very, very needy person, and I don't care. I'm standing by it. I don't have enough friends. I feel a little bit needy right now. I don't even know if people are texting me while I'm recording this. I am that needy of a friend. If I put that phone back on and there are no text messages, I'm going to be sad today. I'm going to feel like no one loves me, or that everyone's mad at me. That's my other thing. That's a little bit narcissistic, though. I think everything is about me. The market is crashing. I call someone and they're like, the market's crashing. And I'm like, but are you mad at me? What? No, I'm mad at the market. Yeah, I think everything is about me. I think the world revolves around me. I'm a very needy friend. I need all the love languages, and I don't care. How about that? Because I'll make you look cute. I'll dress you, and you'll like it. I'm a good dresser. That I can do. I can dress you. Anyway, the key is knowing your own needs and making sure they're met, if it's possible. And if they're not, you need to communicate it. Not as a guilt trip, but as clarity. Because friendships should energize you and not drain you. And I say this when I'm draining people. So I'm self-aware now. Sorry, guys. So here's the truth. The healthiest friendships are when two people actively choose and grow together. Keeping it real here, friendships are not about being perfect. They're about being honest and showing up for each other. Maturing in friendship means realizing this. It's not about having more friends. It's about having the right friends. People who show up, communicate, and actually make you feel seen. And sometimes that means letting go of friendships that no longer serve you. Sometimes it means accepting change, even getting friends skipped without taking it personally. And sometimes it means speaking up when your needs are not being met. So here's the key. You're allowed to have standards. You're allowed to step back. You're allowed to prioritize yourself even when you really love your friends. It's all about paying attention, speaking up, and saving your energy for the people who actually deserve it. Don't forget to subscribe, rate Still Can't Cook 5 stars, and send this to the one friend that's your biggest cheerleader. Thank you guys. I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for showing up for another episode of Still Can't Cook. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, on YouTube or any other podcast provider. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, please follow us at Still Can't Cook. Love to have you guys back every week. So happy that you joined us and look forward to seeing you next week.